Are recording. We are going live in five, four, three, two, one. We're live. Good morning, Owasso. This is Chad with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. My brother is still on vacation, so it is just me. So I apologize for any hang-ups or anything like that, because I'm not the best at this by myself, running all the computer equipment and the cameras by myself. So let's get the show started. All right. Well, starting off as usual, let me go ahead and pull up and I'll actually show the weather forecast on the screen as well, real quick. But as you can see here, weather wise, we are looking at a high of 79 degrees, so almost 80 degrees today, low of 52, so it'll be a little cold. Say it's supposed to be cloudy all day today. You can see the rest of the week will be about the same until Friday. It looks like it'll start cooling off on Friday, and next week's going to get pretty darn cold. We do have a slight chance of rain on Thursday, but still we'll be in those high 70s again for the rest of this week, so that's awesome. But we will be cooling back off later this week. It'll start getting cold again, but I mean, 60s, 50s, that's not too bad. And that's pretty much it with the weather-wise. Traffic is moving steadily right now. It was darn near a standstill a little while ago. So from about 7 to 8 o'clock is really where you just see it just come to a complete halt on 169, at least by the 76th Street on ramp. It's always right there. Got to get that fixed somehow. Don't know what we could do to help with that, but it's always bad right there. But that's really it with the traffic. Now, getting on to our local events today, we've got a bunch of stuff going on this week. We'll start off with the chamber site. So on the Chamber of Commerce, yesterday was the Empress Awards. I couldn't make it out to that because I'm covering more shifts at work for for my brother being on vacation, mainly. So I hope that went well. There's probably probably some pictures and stuff. I need to go look at the chamber and see if I can't find anything of see how cool that was. Then nothing today on the chamber site, but on Wednesday we've got March business over breakfast, and I'll see where that's at. Looks like that'll be at Hometown Insurance. So that's the location that business over breakfast will be happening. Non chamber members go there for free. If you're a non chamber member and want to go, it is $10 to get there. And that's really it on that. Let's go back and we'll see. Then they got popcorn and perks, which that is just at the chamber building itself, the chamber office, I should say, and that's 315 South Cedar Street, Owasso, Oklahoma. Then there's a ribbon cutting on the 14th. I'm going to try to get to that, but with it being really scarce at the office, just me and like one other agent in the office, I don't know if I'll be able to make it to live stream that, which will be a shame, but I'm going to try my best. But that's the Code Wiz Owasso, and that is their ribbon cutting. And that location is at 12500 East 86th Street North, Suite 102. That's 102 is the suite. And that's free admission. There's no having to pay for that. So if you just want to show up and see what they're all about, feel free and help support local businesses. That's always a good thing. Supporting your local community members is always a good thing. And then looks like there's a new one, Dr. Kathy book signing. Let me get a look at this. I haven't seen this one yet. Just says Dr. Kathy book signing. That's all I've got. There's really not where it says it's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. There's no location or anything like that. So maybe I don't know exactly where this is. I'll have to research more into this and find out more about it. But luckily that's not till Thursday. Then Dignitaries and Donuts on Friday or the 15th. And that will be at the town hall, the Owasso Town Hall. So that's with all the elected officials. So if there's any of the elected officials that you want to talk to or just meet some local people that are the mover shakers here in Owasso, I definitely check that out. And that is at the City Hall, which, if you don't know where that is, it's 200 or 200 South Main Street. And that's all there is this week on the Chambers side. Getting to Owassoisms. same thing. There's not really much going on this week except for the hot dog fundraiser. And that is for Owasso Community. It's for Owasso Community Resources. That's a fundraiser for them. It says costs $1, and that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on March 16th. So this Saturday. So check that out. That'll be a lot of fun, especially if you're good old-fashioned American that likes hot dogs. So, and that's it on the Owasso-ism side this week. Now we can get to what I've been meaning to do, and I just always keep forgetting, is to bring up the Owasso sports, the Owasso high school sports events going on this week. So here we go. On the 12th today, looks like JV girls soccer is away at Booker T. Washington. That's at 3 p.m. That's at 3:30 p.m. And then girls soccer varsity at 6 p.m. at Booker T. And then boys soccer is also at Booker T. Washington. So they're all away games, and that's 3:30 for the JV girls, 6 p.m. for the varsity, and then 8 p.m. for the boys varsity. 13th, boys tennis is got a home game at 8 a.m. So anybody that can check that out, please do. Looks like our girls track and field, 12 a.m. Away at Union. Okay. Boys track and field away at Union. So you said all track and field always goes together. They should just put that all as one. Then girls JV soccer on the 14th, Collinsville tournament. Boys JV soccer, Collinsville tournament. Then our boys JV baseball red Sperry tournament. Girls tennis have a Owasso tournament. That's good. And that's all on the 14th. That girls softball away at Union. Girls tennis, the home tournament. I've already read that one. Said baseball, Timber Creek away at 4 p.m. on the March 14th. Baseball JV Black at 5 p.m. They've got a home game. Girls soccer away at Bartlesville. Boys soccer also away at Bartlesville. Then the 15th, 16th, as you can see, you can go check out the sites for yourself. But we've got a busy schedule for all of our athletics for the Owasso. I did forget to check Rejoice. Let me see what Rejoice has got going on real quick on their schedule. Rejoice Christian School athletics. So there we go. Let's see what they've got. Not now, thank you. Let's check out Rejoice. Just look at the schedule. Oh, we have to check up each individual sport, huh? Boo. I was hoping they'd have just all of them listed out already. Let's check the boys basketball. Nothing there. They might need to start refreshing their stuff a little bit better. Let's see here. Schedule. Okay. March 4th. Where are we? Ooh. 12th. Looks like they'll be off in Tahlequah for a game on the 12th. Then Caney Valley. There will be versing Caney Valley, the varsity JV at the Rejoice Baseball Stadium. Thank goodness. Go. Yeah, they've got a busy schedule too for the rest of this month. Man, baseball always has a busy schedule, don't they? I said we'll check more out on their website. I don't want to spend too much more time on that. Now, as for national news-wise, said the Oscars happened, and they weren't doing too hot at the Oscars still. From 2014, had almost... I was just looking at all the stats on this. 2014 had almost 50 million people watching. And then the very next year, 2015 and 16 era, where they started getting super political, which if you think about that time period, that is when Trump was running for election about that time, and it got super political, and the ratings dropped to only like 14 million viewers at the Oscars in 2014 and 2016. and they've only been slowly recovering. So you went from 50 million viewers, or just shy of 50 million viewers, to 12 to 14 million viewers the very following couple of years. Now they're slowly building their way up. This year they said they kind of maxed out at 19 million, which is better from 14, and it was slow. That's what they keep saying. It keeps kind of slowly making its way up. If you looked at it from 2014 up, they usually gain about 2 million followers, 2 million more viewers each year. But I mean, from 50 million to just now almost capping 19, that's still pretty pathetic. Oscar, for the Oscars. But they're politicizing everything. I mean, that was the whole thing right now. Everything's blowing up in the news right now is Jimmy Kimmel's little reading Trump's, not a tweet, it's Truth Social, but essentially kind of same principle. It's his social media, the Truth Social. Read that, him making fun of his poor performance, which I have never been impressed with any of Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar, what is it called, like the lead guy that walks us through the Oscars. I've never been impressed. I can't remember the last ones that were even really that good. I said Hugh Jackman's wasn't that good. Billy Crystal always seems to do really well. I think Chris Rock did one not too long ago. I thought his was pretty good. But it's just been, they need to get Ricky Gervais to do it. That would be hilarious. Like, everyone remembers his Golden Globe ones where he just goes around roasting everybody there. And that's what we're there for, to see famous people get made fun of. And now Jimmy Kimmel got pretty personal with some things. But he tried to pull off the Ricky Gervais thing, but it just didn't really go off that well. But I don't know. That's really all there was, like, with the Oscars. The Oscars is just meh. It's not really great anymore. I mean, I used to love watching the Oscars, and it's just turned into just kind of a snooze fest, and it always gets political. And I don't tune in to the Oscars to get my politics. I don't like rich people, super million and billionaire people. It's very weird that liberals all love the Oscars and love these people. And they're like, oh, we don't like millionaires and billionaires. Well, all those people at the Oscars are pretty much million and billionaires. And they're lecturing you on politics. So, I don't know. It's very strange, but I digress. We'll move on to the next, which is still kind of the big hot topic right now is Joe Biden's State of the Union. That's really been the big thing in the news still. And it's kind of sad because he brought up Laken Riley, and he got her name wrong. He called her Lincoln Riley. So that's the first thing. And then he called the guy that killed her an illegal immigrant. And then after the State of the Union address, he goes back and has an interview and says that he apologizes for using that terminology for describing the murderer. This guy was a murderer. And he's apologizing for calling him an illegal immigrant, using that terminology. He goes, I shouldn't have used that terminology. The guy's a murderer. That was the least of the concerns of calling him an illegal immigrant. Why on earth are we sitting here arguing about what to call somebody who's a criminal or a murderer in this case? He's a murderer. Illegal alien is the least of your concern at that point. A criminal alien is not nearly as bad as a murderer. But he apologized, so he essentially indirectly, if you want to say it, indirectly apologized for calling this guy an illegal immigrant. That is mind-blowing. And as you can imagine, the family was none too happy about this. And this also comes off from having the Marine that died at the Kabul airport, having that father arrested in the same day. I mean, it is not looking good. I don't see how, if you get mad easily at anything that Donald Trump has done, saying that he's curtailing free speech or anything like that, or anything even remotely similar to that, you should have to be angry at this. I mean, you have to. There is no excuse for this. Apologizing to a murderer, I mean, for calling him an illegal immigrant, that is insane. I don't understand how he could have even remotely thought that this was okay. And that's what they care about. I said, what is this deal with using words? Like, you have to say your words so carefully. I mean, that's the whole reason, like, Trump even got elected back in 2016 was he was a guy that didn't mince words and he just said what he thought. Not all this tiptoeing around trying to pretty up language to make everyone feel good. That is literally how he got elected. Because everyone's like, oh, he speaks straightforward. He says what he means. Or at least he is more direct than most politicians. Which, if you've ever seen any politician at any type of debate or event where they're trying to raise their name, they dance around issues. They dance around them. And I remember going to, because my aunt won like a teacher of the of the year in Oklahoma award, or she was runner up or something. I can't remember now. It's been so long. I was a child when this happened. And at this event, there was a debate between three politicians running for some, I don't even remember what it was. This is how young I was. I would think I was not even broke like 10 years old yet. I was probably like 8 or 9. And I just remember going to this thing and they asked all of them a question. And I even remember I looked at my mom at one point. I go, Mom, they didn't answer the question that was asked. And my mom turned and smiled at me and goes, that's politicians, sweetheart. I said, as a child, I was just super confused, but now it makes so much sense to me now. I was like, as a child, I was there and completely understood that they did not answer the question that was asked. They just danced around it and made it sound pretty at this place where they're trying to get all these teachers union voters, essentially. And I just remember that's where I was completely lost or disenfranchised with politics as a child. I was like, wow, this is what politics is. It's people just not answering questions. And that's still basically what it is today. People dancing around issues to not answer something directly because they don't want to offend somebody. Somebody's going to get angry at a decision you're going to make. I'd rather you tell me what your stance is and be truthful about it than sit there and tell me and not answer my question for me. Because you just danced around the issue. But that's really just crazy. And I'm kind of just getting off topic, just kind of rambling now. But I can't believe that this Laken Riley issue is a thing. I mean, how of all the people to apologize to, that is not the person to do it. Like, oh, I apologize. I apologize for calling him an illegal. Dear God, I don't understand it. It's insane. It's really insane. The only other thing that's going on, which I'll probably delve deeper into this tomorrow if there's not really a big news day, because I'm just sick of talking about the State of the Union address and Joe Biden. But over in Haiti, if y'all remember back when, again, 2016, when Trump said Haiti is a crap hole, I'm using terminology very easily here. I don't want to curse, but he called it an S-hole. And all the celebrities, and I remember it was Bill Maher, Conan O'Brien, and Susan Sarandon all were wearing shirts that said Haiti is already great. Well, it turns out that Haiti was not great. They were in like darn near civil war, basically with riots and stuff breaking out pretty regularly. And now the guy that's kind of in charge there is called like Barbecue. Said I'm just basically have like a summary knowledge of this right now because it's just something that I've just heard about the other day or this morning, really. But this guy called Barbecue literally burns people alive and eats them. Not because he's hungry or starving to death, but because he's trying to instill fear in the community of Haiti. And if you remember Conan O'Brien going there and taking a picture at a resort, at a 5-star resort, which has security detail, he's like, oh, Haiti is great. It's like, you don't go, if you want to see the true, how a society truly is, you don't go to the high class, highbrow areas, you have to go to the dregs of society areas, the places they go. Ask them, where do you not go in this part of town? That is how you see the true layings of a decent society, of how bad is the worst part of your society. That's why I think certain states are just way better than others, because if you go to places where the scariest parts are the parts that they tell you don't go in, like Chicago or in New York, in LA, you're probably going to get shot. In places like here in Oklahoma, what's the worst? You've got like trailer trash and people who, unfortunately, like I said, get into drugs like meth, stuff like that. And is it great? No, but they're probably far less likely to be killed at the poor trailer park areas than in the inner cities of some of our more, big city high crime areas like Atlanta, St. Louis, Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles. So you don't judge a society by its high rises and the super rich areas. You have to also judge it by the lowest of the community members as well. And if you only go, that is all Conan O'Brien did when he went to Haiti after that little announcement that Trump made back in 2016, and just caravanned around the super nice areas. Said, oh, these places are great. They're safe. Well, obviously they're not, because they're burning people alive and using fear tactics to be in control. This guy is basically in control of Haiti now. It's insane. I will delve more into that at a later date if we don't have much going on this week. I'll definitely do a deep dive into that probably on Friday, because Friday's kind of our slow day, or we have more kind of a fun topic. But that's really all I have for you all today. This is Chad with Owasso Live. Said I am signing out. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. Have a blessed day, everybody.